God hope this works. Welcome one and all to the Legend of Heroes. Trails of the Sky. In the sky. Whatever. Nightmare. May Adios be with you. So, for those of you who don't know, I've been played through the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Arc on YouTube. My plan is to have this be Rumble exclusive. I just hope this works. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd come home today, too. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Okay, this is very cute. Cassius Bright. Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take care of the house while I was gone? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble? You didn't get hurt fighting bad monsters, did you? Nope. Fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though. I brought you a present. What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the blanket? Is that my present? You're a sharp one. Why don't you come take a look? A boy. What? Here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? What? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him. Wake him up? I mean, he's alive? Looks kind of dead to me, if you ask. I've treated his wounds, so he should be in a stable condition. In the meantime, however, you need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating up a kettle of something... So if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I would appreciate it. Okay. I just hope this isn't just a fucking still image or a black screen. I'm using the AMD recording software. It's been fussy fucking as hell. Fussy as fucking hell. But that only seems to be when I try to record a window. Just the display itself, not an actual game. So we're gonna see if that works. He looks about the same age as me. This is the first time I've seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair, and a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? What? Yeah, just who is this kid? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kind of words? No doubt from Sherazard, I assume. Yeah, that's right. For God's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days. Actually, I met this boy while out on business. I don't even know his name. Bracer business. Something like that. Look. He's waking up. This is Joshua. Where am I? So you're awake now. Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please try to get some rest. What are you trying to pull? You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you leave me to die? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Things just worked out the way things just worked out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey. You're shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. Who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember telling me that Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Well, now that you mention it. Wait a minute. Don't try to change the Ow! Quit yelling. Alright, alright. But jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind, just forget it. As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Your name. You know, the thing that people call you. I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? Seems logical to me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... That's Joshua Bright. Well, he doesn't become a Bright till later. He is a survivor of the Hommel tragedy. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is relevant, or becomes relevant, in The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. Oh, there's that son of a bitch. It's pretty funny when you know who some of the characters are, and you know the context behind them and their personality. That blonde they showed, he's, something else, is a good way to put it. Forget her name exactly, but she was in the 4th of the Cold Steel arc. There's Agate and... Oh, my AC's on. I need to turn that off. It's cooled off in here now. It's kind of hot and stuffy, so I had the air going for a bit just to cool things off. We're in the heat of spring, and summer's right around the bend. No, I'm gonna leave that fan running. If you hear that, fucking deal with it. Is that who I think it is? No, that wasn't Gideon. You don't know who Gideon is? I envy you. Gideon's a bitch. Bitch is a gender-neutral term. I know plenty of men who can be a bitch. Well, I know one man who's a bitch anyway. I don't work with him anymore, because he's a bitch. I like these isometric pixel art. It's just charming. Reminds me of like a Super Nintendo game. Oh, it's bright in here. Yeah. Man, I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Yeah. Cassius adopted Joshua. I guess I better make myself ready then. I want to make that house in Minecraft. It's like a very basic 2-level house. I can make that. Very nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. Hope I didn't wake you. I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, even though... Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. I cannot fucking word today. Not that I mind. What with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her sleep. What do you even mean by woman? We're the same age, and I am hardly a man. Tisk tisk. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? You are a shit. Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a teeny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right. I wish I could play a harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. It really is. You gotta have good breath control. It's easy to play a harmonica. It is difficult to play it well. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is that I don't do something that uses my whole body. I start to feel drowsy. Yep, that's ADHD for you, I know. I don't have a formal diagnosis, but my father, my sister, my grandfather, it's very likely I'm ADD. Ooh, what's that? Playing the harmonica is fun and all, but how about you get some exercise too? That's fat phobic. All your hobbies are just sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. I have model kits. That's something I stand and lean over a workbench. I feel isn't going to last much longer. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. You would be surprised. The brooding pretty boy who can play an instrument, girls dig that. Don't know why. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although, I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sporting shoes? Quite a few men, actually. That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Guys like tomboys. Really? I still believe that when I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, I am stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat and don't forget to pour your energy into that work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we've learned at this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers just like you. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a little kid anymore. You're like 15, calm down. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. In other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. It'll be so successful that it won't be long before I surpass you. That's the spirit. Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We'll have a test later today. Remember. Huh? Wait, what test? Yep, ADD. Scatterbrain. Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning and training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, I totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or another. I honestly don't know how you've survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is a sieve. Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? Huh. You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. Definitely. I swear the two of you act so much alike. We should probably head over to the guild. Oh, it's good drink. It is Tennessee. It's a cinnamon whiskey in generic brand Dr. Pepper. Actually, cinnamon whiskey and Dr. Pepper is actually really good. Something about the cinnamon liqueur mixed in the whiskey, in the sour mash whiskey. Well, actually, that's a cinnamon bourbon. Goes really well with the spiced cherry soda. Remember one time I made one with the Tennessee Fire sour mash whiskey? Handed it to my sister. Here, try this. It's cinnamon whiskey and Dr. Pepper. She took a sip and then walked off into the other room with it. In other words, she liked it. My sister, heck, I poured her just a glass of cinnamon whiskey before she drank it down. How about rune-style scalloped fish in balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs. You're right, I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. Actually, I just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, just make something edible. How rude. But I can't say he's wrong. Like, I like the sprites. Like, I actually kind of prefer the sprite work over the models. Like, I ducked dissing the models that they made in the Cold Steel arc on PS3, PS4, Switch, and Steam. I don't know why Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 aren't on the Switch. Like, I know they were published by Xseed Games in the West, but Xseed Games has made games on the Switch, has published games on the Switch, so I don't and it's not like fucking Cold Steel is even PlayStation exclusive. I mean, it was for a little bit, like, barely any time. I'm sorry about that. I had to adjust some chords. But it's like, it has Steam. It's on Steam. You can get Cold Steel 3 and 4. Even Trails into Reverie is going to the Switch. Get Trails into Reverie coming in July. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it! Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Ah, good old newspaper. Outdated. Got it. One copy of Liberal. 500 Mira. I guess Mira was also the currency in Cold Steel. I guess it's just an international currency. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. I like Estelle. I like her bright, optimistic, can-do attitude. She's very... Also, I just love the twin tails. It's adorable! And and Estelle is your protagonist. You play as Estelle. Oh yeah, I could definitely make this house. This would be really easy. Just a nice, standard wooden porch. Yeah, that'd be really easy. I already have something kind of like this. Wonder if I get a fishing pole later. Oh yes, and there is an adjustable camera. Just kind of want to get a... Like, it is an isometric game, so there's no panning it up and down, just kind of orbiting. I just want to get a look at this. It's not a wraparound. Okay. Joshua Bright, Estelle. So they already have an S-brake, that's interesting. They start with one. Of course, they are going through bracer training, that does make sense. Oh. I don't know what exactly I'm doing with this. Oh. Person with a quarterstaff should be keeping a little more distance. Okay, B button brings that up. So I'm just doing a little bit of exploring. For some reason okay, south goes to a gate. I don't think it's gonna do me a whole lot of good. I want to fight a monster! Let me fight monsters! I want to kill! Estelle, Roland City is the opposite direction. You're not sleepwalking again, are you? How about you just be quiet and keep your comments to yourself? Okay, so he just comments to himself, the inner monologue. And he scolds her. These two really are siblings. Looks like we made good time. Not too early, not too late. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is the last day of training. Truth be told, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Yeah, I guess I did. Alright then, let's go. Share at the Bracer Guild. That's the general goods store. He said he wanted a newspaper. Unbelievable. You've actually already forgotten why we came by to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're here to buy a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, remember? Yeah, of course. You've always been a big collector of shoes, Estelle. I'm afraid that the new Dragas aren't even out yet. Okay, so I can buy Tear Bomb healing items. Oh, there is cooking in this to make my own special healing items. Cool. And I can convert Septium into money. And I can sell any extra crap I don't need. Pretty standard RPG stuff. Weapon store. Yeah, I've noticed you scatterbrained. I love it. I'll give you a head injury if you don't shut up. And don't call me scatterbrained. But you are scatterbrained. And pile rod, kunai, leather vest, armor vest, leather boots, spikes, and some pretty typical healing items. Now that you mention it, you did take off from home the other day with your hair all in a mess. Ugh. That was only because it was an emergency. Yeah, he got the sneakers she wanted. Estelle? Yes? Listen to me carefully. For a girl your age, you need to take care of these things. If your appearance is messy, you won't look like someone that can take... Oh my K. The appearance is a reflection of what is on the inside. I can't rotate the camera inside buildings. And that's the Bracer Guild. That's the Orbital Factory. Let's just get right to the Bracer Guild and start beating people up. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ania. Good morning. Is Sherry here already? She's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. And there is Sherazade, or just Shara. The Star and the Hanged Man, tarot cards, the Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, Diversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning! Why, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua? This is a rare occurrence for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer. I give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel the enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you! Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head, instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. What? Joshua, she was picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orb mint with some practice. Eventually. Probably. She's doomed. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't really standing up for me. Well, that's an odd. I'm positive I described all of your best traits accurately. Whatever. Now, I love the sprite work, like her irritated face, her chewing them out, like, I don't know, like, this is very charming. I like old RPGs. When did this game come out? Future Seraph, put it on screen. No, this. I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You can't read the cards? That's surprising. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they are the more difficult they become to interpret. I can English, people. That's not important right now. think it's time that we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of elements can be produced depending on the structure of the type of quartz or processed septium installed. Basically, this is your magic system. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in the facets of life, from lights, heaters, and everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. Yes, this is the magic system. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. Yes, this is basically technology powered by magic, and it's pretty cool. I've always been curious what the bracers really are. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain stability in their respective regions. It kind of reminds me of the National Guard in the US. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. Okay, they sound like a cross between the National Guard and errand boys. The Bracer Guild, which is an the Bracer Guild, which has established bracer branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. Interesting. And the Liberal Kingdom. The Liberal Kingdom is to the south of the Erebonian Empire. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Sumerian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it is contended with its neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of Orbal-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. That is in reference to the 100 Days War, where, mild spoilers, something happened in Hamel, and it started a war between Erebonia and Liberal because they were blamed for it. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. It also had to do with Gilead Osborne blowing the whistle to a lot of influential people and was able to negotiate a ceasefire between the Queen of Erebonia and between the Queen of Liberal and the Erebonian Empire, which is how a common-born man was able to ascend to the rank of Chancellor. But all that comes to light in the Cold Steel arc. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a consented review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if it were a real bracer job. What you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk. Exactly. This time, you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure that you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know that I was going to do... Okay, I can't talk today. I guess I got well worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile of yours on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job on your Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there is something that I need to give the both of you. Are you ready? Bracer notebook. It's just there to remind you of what you need to do. It's a notebook. Understood. Crap, that sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh. Please tell me that it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door, you'll see there's a bulletin board. Go and check the jobs posted there. Yep, errand boy. This is where I'm going to get my quests. Okay. Get paid 500 Mira. Yes, training involves searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. Okay. Dungeon crawling, right in the beginning. I really hope that this actually goes through, because I'm enjoying this. I really like the aesthetic. Let's do it. What will we be doing this time? You'll be heading across the street to the Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken the time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure you be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital arts. Yes, like I said, the battle orbment, in this case I believe it's called the Enigma, is how to use your magic system. In the Cold Steel Arc, it's called an Arcus unit. Although the Calvard Republic has what's called a Ramda. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definitions, that means that light, airship engines, and so on all have different types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. This is your magic system. Some people can naturally use magic without an orbment, but they are far and few between. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed element slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must also have an open slot. By default, the center slot is always open, but the other slots must be opened at an Orbital Factory, like this one. It'll take a fair amount of Septif, too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening all of them as soon as possible. Simply put, the Orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of particular effects can be produced by using orbital energy stored within the mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have called them that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at a factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into the slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. This also affects your statistics. So with the right quartz installed, you can have a defensive tank, a spellcaster, somebody who just takes a staff and goes bonk right on the head. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install a quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice. What else do I need to know about? Quartz are circuits made of septif. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until the quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. That does add to the strategy of how to set up your quartz. There's 7 types. Earth is brown, water is blue, fire is red, wind is green, time is black, space is gold, and mirage is silver. The 4 base elements and the 3 high elements. Septif can be exchanged for money almost everywhere you go, but at the normal factory it can be used to synthesize quartz into open orbment slots in which to install synthesized quartz. So basically, don't sell the elemental septif, sell the mass septif. I already saw this. And this is how I'm going to get a start. Fire and time. Okay. Upon approaching the counter and talk... Okay. Basically, I can make one of each of these. I'm going to give that one to Joshua just so I can have healing. Can I put water in there? Yeah, I cannot. But I can put anyone in there, so you're getting the water course for now. You also have crafts, which are basically combat arts. They're special moves that take combat points, or CP, which you see down there below EP. Okay, and now I can open up a slot for each one. I can open a slot for a person. Qualification test. Let's go bonk. Go into the sewers and kick some ass. Little yes, yapping, a little more walking. Joshua, help me! Thanks for the help, guys. Don't mention it. Good luck on the test. We're rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you let me high and dry like this. Joshua! I like Estelle. She's charming. And now she's excited to go fight monsters. Chera? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? Probably. You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago. Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells? What a relief. Oh, divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon such a wonderful gift as sewers. So what you're saying is that you really thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy at the Orbital Factory. Ah, I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in the classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we're even able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to act a little less anxious? Just so you know, if you happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyways, as the both of you saw on the bulletin board, this test will be to search the sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within the area. Layout of the sewers is simple, you shouldn't get lost. However, the real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Some healing items. Monster guide. I'm not going to end it here because just me jabbering would be boring. Yeah, let's kick a little ass. Enough jabbering! Let's move on! Healing point, got it. Then I can hold the right trigger down to run. I mean, that was kind of pointless, but a quick heal is always a good heal. Monster at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to take them advantage on your blind side. Monsters cannot see you from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. Yeah, I get how this works. I understand this, thank you. Nice. They're just gonna sit there and let me wail at them in the first encounter. Interesting. Bonk. Nice. Monsters will also drop items.
That's that then. Let's move out.
A juicy bone. Here comes some more. Physical attacks will be ineffective, and sometimes it's better to use orbital arts. Some enemies are just naturally good at dodging physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to cast. Yeah. You cast magic, but it takes a minute. Yeah, that's what they were just talking about. But Joshua doesn't have any...
All right, we rule.
Actually, he might. Crisp onion, cool. And approaching one from behind. Crafts, yeah, I know how crafts work. Crafts have range limits, but they're specialized physical attacks. And now they're starting to deal damage.
Come on.
Okay, that's a supporting craft. Interesting.
Alright, we're good to go.
This is also partially a test to see if this will just even work. If it doesn't, it's something I just play in my own time. To say that I did. A reviving balm. That's a healing item. Yeah, I know how the craft points work. The S-Break is you can actually interrupt an enemy's turn to use it. Press the brake button. Oh, arrow keys.
Here I come.
Let's do this!
No time for you!
Alright, we're good to go.
Rusted door appears to be locked. I wonder if I can find a key for that then. Nothing there. That must be the chest. Yeah, I get how the battle order works. Thank you. Also, you can have special properties on the battle order. That's going to get some better turn orders for us.
We're good to go.
Has a healing art.
Alright, we're good to go.
Small boxes. If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means be my guest. Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic failure for the both of us. If this were a real job, the content of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they were nothing illegal, we have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua, but I can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? Good work. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Here you go. Yep. They're the real deal. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one. I figured she would try to set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? Miss Shara, what's in those boxes anyway? That's for me to know and for you to find out after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now. Let's get back to work. You two still have some things left over. Didn't you just say we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. Anyway, now that you're both tired, I know you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results to the guild. Reporting how you resolve the situation, and the steps you took to get there are all a part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch, and as you already know by now, Ania is in charge of this branch. In addition, this is also where you get paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. You two? Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. As you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira money is not the only thing I can receive. You can also accumulate points, which are known as BP, Bracer Points. Bracer Points are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. In other words, the better I do, the more I get. Okay. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you will be learning from your own world experience. Well then. Aren't these boxes the ones? In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside. Are you saying it's okay to open them now? Correct. Why don't you go ahead and open and see what's inside? Probably a bracer emblem. Yep. They're badges. Ahem. Estelle and Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as junior bracers within the guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome to the fold. So I'm a bracer now. I think the realization is only just now beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping with joy, or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I love her. I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off. I have some backed up work that needs my attention. We understand. We've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate the trouble you've gone through for us. That was Charizard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who is always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, eh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would hold him in that fashion. Never mind. Let's hurry on home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as bracers. But that's for next time, provided that this actually worked. Files. Yep, there it is. Signing off.